Well, in my younger days, it's not that long ago really. In my younger days, I think the interracial, the whole interracial thing was a lot better. Yeah. There was a lot more. At school, you would mix with everyone. Yeah, when you go home, you mix with everyone. But I think over the years, society has, I don't know whether it's living in the city or what, but we've lost some of that. And what he's trying to do now is because we are one country, and it's very, very hard to progress properly if we don't all work together. So I'm not a strong believer in all this, having these different schools and all that. I think it's just not helping. And we should have a very good government school system. I mean, I send my kids to private school, not because I can afford it, but because I just don't think the government schools are up to scratch. But that's not so good, because not everyone can afford that. I mean, when I was young, we didn't have to worry about that, because the government schools were excellent. I thought BI was excellent, and that's down to the teaching quality, the quality of teaching. I mean, I'm not saying the teachers today are no good. I don't know what's changed. I'm not sure what's changed. Maybe today, there's more pressure. Life is more stressful. But I don't know. But maybe there could be some structural issues. But I think the government really needs to fix the education system, and that's something that they're looking at. I'm just hoping that they will come up with a solution sooner rather than later. And things like that shouldn't be politicized. You're talking about the future of Malaysians, young Malaysians, and these are not things which should be politicized. So all these are in the 10th plan, and in whatever way we can, we should all try and contribute so that the 10th plan can succeed. Yeah, sorry.
Dato Yusli, couple of questions. One is, if you can turn back your clock back to your good old days, what are the things that you felt you should do differently? And number two is, what is the legacy you want to leave in Bursa?
If I could turn back the clock. Wow. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that have happened. The thing about life is that you have to make a decision. You reach so many decision points in life, right? And the thing is, you need to make a decision. And once you try and make the best decision. I mean, sometimes it's not the right decision, but you basically then have to live with that decision, because you can't turn back the clock, right? So I like to think that most of the decisions I made were worked out for me, and or maybe I would have brought my daughter back here. But that's a personal thing. Because I don't know how many of you have kids. Probably none, right? Children is the thing about children is that you can't turn back the clock. Once they're grown up, they're grown up. You want to be with them, especially when they're growing up. Yeah? Because when they're big, then you just lost those years, right? So that's probably one thing I would have done. I'm not sure how I would have done it though. Legacy. Like I said, I'd like to be able to improve the culture in Bursa, so that people work better together, and we want to create a high performance organization. And high performance actually doesn't mean, all it means is you want to have a highly professional workforce, because professionals will do their work. Professionals won't play politics in office. Professionals won't not cooperate. with the other staff members. So it's basically creating a highly professional environment where people behave as professionals. I mean, that is easier said than done. I mean, you think that, that would be the simplest thing to do, right? Because you are paid to do it. How many of you work for your bonus? you actually work for your pay. Because some people say, look, I just have to turn up for work and then you owe me my salary. Actually you're paid to do a certain amount of work. The bonus is only if you exceed that performance. Yeah. So if someone earns, say, I don't know, 10,000 ringgit a month, then have you done 10,000 ringgit worth of work this month? Or over a year, 120,000 ringgit worth of work? If you say yes, then fine, you deserve every cent. If you say no, of course the company is not going to take it back. But if you say, yeah, I've done more than that, then of course you deserve a bonus. But really, honestly, how many people can say they actually done more than what they were contracted to do? I mean, nobody works 8 hours a day flat out, right? Surely. And in theory, that's what you paid for, Okay, anyway, end of discussion on that one. Any more? Yeah.
Dato, you have shared a lot of experience about you. Different. You have various be in different industry. If let's say you have a power to replan or restructure or improve the corporate corporate world in Malaysia, what do you want to see in next 10 or 20 years in front? What kind of corporate world in Malaysia you want to see, or what you want the younger generation of corporate Malaysians to have, so that we don't repeat the same mistakes what the older generations have done?
Okay, very good question. I would like to see corporate Malaysia have very high corporate governance standards. Now, what do I mean by corporate governance? Corporate governance is really about how companies are run, whether they're run honestly with transparency or whether they're not. So all the problems we've seen in the past, I won't say all again, a lot of the problems we've seen in the past in corporate failures are to do with poor corporate governance. There's either been fraud, fraud can happen at all levels, from people stealing petty cash or buying fictitious things that don't exist, or selling fictitious things to fictitious customers. You'd be surprised at what happens in corporate Malaysia if you look at some of the fraud cases that have happened in listed companies as well. If any of you work in the SC or Bursa, you come across some of these cases. The lengths that people go to make themselves rich. And our job at the exchange is to try and create a market or have a market that's safe. So you can imagine the challenge that we have, because if you buy a share in a company, let's say you bought shares in, okay, I won't use that example. Let's say you bought shares in company A, and then suddenly you find that 1 month later the company goes bankrupt. Yeah, because the auditors have said that the stocks in the company or the debtors in the company are actually worthless. So